He got to take it to T-Roy's house.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Hey, don't come any closer.
Don't
come any closer.
Welcome to First Person Defender, where regular people come face to face with unknown attackers.
Drop the gun! Drop it! Drop the gun! Come out with me! Drop the gun!
And fight their way out. This is First Person Defender.
Today on First Person Defender, we've got John as our good guy. Now, he's pretty trained up behind the gun, but you know, bad things don't always happen in a dark alley. Sometimes they happen in an alley during the day. Take a look.
This force-on-force training uses real firearms converted to fire marking cartridges.
Yeah, you know, many times when you've got somebody who comes into a program like this that has a lot of training, a lot of prior background and experience, sometimes they're coming in with a lot of preconceived ideas and attitudes. So sometimes the first step is to get them in there and humble them a little bit, particularly in the first scenario, so that when we come back, we can learn from it.
I'm an instructor at Boondocks Firearms Training Academy in Raymond, Mississippi. I'm a retired Foreign Service officer, but I've got some military experience also and some law enforcement experience. As an instructor at Boondocks, we do force-on-force training, and we usually have it set so that I'm a bad guy, aggressor, or an instructor. Bad guy's easy because you got the jump on everything. The bad guy determines when it's going to happen. The bad guy sort of owns the terrain. I like being the bad guy. Plus, that's like the inner bad guy in me really coming out. I like that.
This very first scenario we're going to run, and it's designed this way, is going to be a little confusing. But that's the way the world operates. The world tends to be a little confusing. Far too often in training, things are so black and white and cut and dry that we create this air of anticipation and expectation. What we're trying to do is remove that so that we've really got to think about what we're seeing and respond appropriately.
Long, dark alleys can be dangerous places. Just because the sun is shining doesn't necessarily make them any safer. In this scenario, John is taking out the trash when he encounters a situation that tests his mental skills.
He got to take it to T-Roy's house.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Hey, don't come any closer.
Don't
come any closer.
I need your help. What the hell, man?
Get out.
What's going on? Hey, what? There's something
Pulling
going
a gun
on.
at me.
What?
Calling 911 and leaving the area.
What? Why's he got a gun?
All right, index.
All right, tell us what happened.
Well, I was taking the garbage out. I rounded the corner, looked down the alley, and mentioned to Wes, hey, wait, there's some guys standing by the dumpster down there.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking in the real world, I just simply wouldn't do it at all. My first thought is avoid. So anyway, Wes said, hey, that's the scenario, keep walking. So walk on down the alley. Then I see that there's someone leaning over someone who's on the ground on their back. So I said, hey, what's going on?
But you drew your gun at some point.
I did draw my gun.
What made you decide to draw?
When the guy jumped up from the guy that was lying down, I drew my gun and said, get back. And in my way of thinking, I don't know what's going on. I don't want to even be involved in a third-party incident. If someone needs help, I said I'd call 911. Let the 911 folks help. This is all going on in an alley that I'm accustomed to going in all the time. This is unusual.
How did the whole thing feel?
Felt like a little surprise. You know, you've got to make some split-second assessments. Downside to drawing a gun, brandishing, could have been certainly innocent. The guy could have been helping someone. But if that's the case, it's going to be resolved in a few minutes. No one was killed, particularly not me.
All right, so we're back on the range running a Ruger Security 9, and what we're doing brings to mind some of the problems that we see in a lot of training, where we've got people that just don't refine their footwork. They don't put a lot of emphasis, don't put a lot of work into it. When we got people working in either lateral or linear move, the idea is we want to maintain stability of ourselves, stability of the gun, get hits on target. When I've got people moving to the rear or moving forward, I want them moving in such a way that if they impact an object, they're going to be able to roll over that object, not trip over the object. So if I'm moving to the rear, I'm coming up and I'm going to be going toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. When I reverse and I'm going forward, I'll go heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. The purpose of that is if I hit a box curb, a pothole, any sort of debris, I don't trip over it. I don't become a deficit with a loaded gun in my hand. I stay upright, I roll over it, and I remain an asset in the situation. The only thing that I really saw was not much. It was just a simple tactic that I think probably needs a little emphasis placed on it, and that's creating that distance away from your possible threat or your would-be threat. You let him get in there and close that gap. So the idea here would have been to create a little bit of distance, maybe lay hands on him, create some distance away. At the same time, you'd be going to your gun. When we move to the rear, we want to make sure that we're moving with purpose. Okay, not stopping and not dragging our feet and not doing something that's going to allow us to trip over potholes or rocks or anything that's out here. We want to make sure that we're going toe heel. So we roll over whatever's going to be behind us. Get a good center of gravity, get ourselves lowered down, and move ourselves back with purpose.
So I came like this, I went, hey, I need your help.
And I said, back up.
And then as I saw the gun and go, whoa.
Even if I had the gun drawn, I'm going to be giving him the shiver and then executing back quickly.
Right.
Keeping my eye on the threat because I know that Ryan can probably outrun me.
But keep him in your
him in my sights.
Right, and then go
getting
find
back
911
quickly.
when you get out there.
Hey man, I need your help.
Get back!
Oh,
Get back! Get back!
Perfect. Very purposeful movement to the rear, creating that distance away. Because that distance is going to give you opportunity.
Right.
First Person Defender brought to you by Ruger, Gundelio,
and Springfield Armory.
All right, so in those circumstances with multiple opponents, there's a couple of things you're going to want to have happen. First and foremost is don't allow them to surround you. Maneuver yourself in such a way as the environment permits and get all your opponents on one side. Don't let anybody get behind you or alongside you. Try to keep everything in that field of vision. The second is you're going to want to try and create some distance. And again, that's going to be very dependent on the environment you're in, but work with it to the best of your capabilities. Try to get everybody lined up and try to create some distance. Remember, distance creates time and opportunity. Getting all those opponents on one side puts everybody in your span of control.
For a lot of people, a full-size handgun is their home defense gun. Maybe not your carry gun, but you've got this full-size, high-capacity gun. Why not put a light on it? We're working with the Surefire X300. It goes on pretty much any pistol with a rail. Even can put this on a rifle or a shotgun that has a rail. So very easy to attach, and now you've got a light on your gun to see what's going on out there. You know, you're not worried about weight, you're not worried about size because it's something you keep in a safe or something like that. So just a little tip for you, home defense gun, put a light on it.
In order to challenge John, the crew ups the ante. How will he react to a surprise encounter from a new threat?
2 days, and that's it. That's it. Look, that's it. That's it. This has happened too many times before. I'm not dealing with this.
You know I'm good for it.
No, we don't play I'm good for it. No, we don't do that.
You know.
No.
You know I'm good for it.
No.
Look.
What the f are you doing back here? What? Bang, 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 bang.
Stop that jam. Oh, God dang it.
All right, index, index, index.
So tell me what were you seeing?
That was hard. I'm taking out the garbage, and then when I got to that hole right about there, I see that there's 2 or 3 guys standing there talking.
Yeah.
That was enough for me to think, you know what? I don't feel comfortable here. And I wanted to turn around and leave. But when I did, guess what? There's somebody behind me.
My lookout.
What? So then it's kind of a rapid engagement, gun jammed. And while I'm looking at that person, completely unaware, the other guys come around, and I think I got shot probably a couple times in the back of my arm while I'm still trying to get my gun fixed.
You were,
You-
yeah, I
you
mean,
were
it
on
was
the
a,
ground.
It was a mess.
It was a mess.
But the guy, you got fairly focused in on the guy who came up behind you, I guess, right?
Yeah, I kind of got too focused on that.
At some point, you know, and I did start, I said, well, I guess I'll start shooting at you. So I started shooting. And at some part, I saw your brain, they're like, I literally saw a light bulb and you went, I'm running away. This is stupid. Well, it's one of the things that I think that people who come on First Person Offender like, and certainly the viewers like, is you can always do what if.
Yeah,
you can always
always,
do
yeah.
Monday morning quarterback, and it's really easy to sit in front of your computer and watch these
Yes.
episodes and say, I would have done this or I would have done that. But you know what? We do the same thing when we run through these scenarios.
But at that moment, again, at that moment, I was still thinking about you on the ground, and the second threats maybe didn't come up until, it might have been, I didn't see them because I was busy working my gun.
See, you're already doing it.
Yeah.
You're gonna replay it 100 times over.
That's right.
When you were working on your gun, you went bang, 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 bang
Yeah.
a couple of times on camera.
Yeah.
It's like,
this.
don't say bang, bang.
Well, I mean, I was thinking this is a game
That's
scenario.
like telling your role player, I'm out of
Yeah.
ammo,
Yeah.
so that when they're going to come
I
after
knew
you.
I was doing it. It's like, oh, this is a scenario. It's like, I can't get my gun to work.
Bang.
Yeah, you're not going to do that in real
I
life.
did hear that. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, was it a contact shot thing? Like, okay, you know, you're saying bang, bang, you know?
Bang, 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 bang. No, I was
dysfunctional
pretending
gun.
because this was like a scenario. I'm thinking I would be shooting, but oh yeah, this simunition gun is jammed up completely.
It really is jammed.
But
It's not a
really
blue
is.
gun.
Real guns fail too.
Yeah, they did.